I think a lot of people are quick to hire experts for literally everything. Like, we have people that clean our houses. We have people that do our taxes. We go to restaurants for amazing chefs. Like, you know, like the list is endless. However, when it comes to food and your relationship with food, people are very quick to think they can do it on their own.
That's insane. What about the snacking during the day at the office?
But like, if you were doing all the right things, it would be working. So like,
you think you're doing
the right things.
Do you think that our obsession with weight loss is just more of us trying to control?
Everything's just about being realistic and big impact changes.
What about caffeine? Like coffee, do you have that on an empty stomach? Do you recommend not to?
Oh, the biggest topic right now is protein, obviously. 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. Honestly, I have no fucking idea.
I don't believe in it.
Hello, everybody. Today we are sitting with Sam Levin, founder of LevinWell. How are you, Sam?
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Happy Friday. Welcome.
Happy Friday. We're so excited to sit down with you today. So let's just dive right in. You worked at L'Oreal for 10 years. That is obviously the dream on paper post-grad for any girl. How did you get to where you are today?
I love the question. So, hi everyone, I'm Sam. I'm so happy to be here. Like Kat said, I'm founder of LevinWell, and I'm a holistic nutrition health coach. I have a long journey, but I did start at my career at L'Oreal in beauty marketing, where I worked for a decade. How I got into this? Well, one, you're probably wondering, what is a holistic nutrition health coach? What I do is I help women feel the best in their bodies. We work on nutrition plans together. We also work on the mindset piece with food, and I really bring my clients under my wing, and a lot of them go through a total mind and body transformation. People often come to lose weight, but they're also, when we're working together, there's so much more that goes into it, because at the end of the day, like, people want habits that stack. How did L'Oreal come into the mix? So I was there for 10 years, and it was a career I absolutely loved. I really rose through the ranks there. I worked on a few different brands: Kiehl's, Maybelline, Kerastase. I was also chief of staff to the whole group's chief marketing officer. So all the 30 plus brands, I worked for 2 different people, oversaw them from a marketing and digital perspective, and I was their right hand. It was a career I loved, but as you change, I think you also, and your life circumstances change, need to give yourself permission to flex. And it was almost like this intersection of where I was in my life with my interest and where I wanted my life to go. So how they combined together a little bit as I went through my own food journey. When I remember my whole life, like in high school, even middle school, to be honest, middle school, high school, college, I was like trying to starve myself skinny. I really struggled with the mental piece. Like, how do other people eat what they're eating, and I feel like I'm eating less,
and they look like that, and I look like this, and I feel like this. I think a lot of us women have been there.
Totally. And it's really, really common. And right when I graduated college, I was like, I actually need help. One, I'm not happy in my body, so like, that's okay to admit. And like, I work with some of my clients on that, because I do think there's almost like a lot of toxic positivity too. Like, if you want to change your body, own it. And I think we should normalize that too, to be honest with you. But I wanted to. I hired someone, and it changed my life. I lost 25 pounds. I was able to sustain that weight loss till I got pregnant. Like, my baby's 7.5 months old. And then been a whole journey in my postpartum. But it changed my life. And it wasn't just the weight loss piece. I unlearned things, like these rules that I came up with. I actually stopped comparing myself to other people, which was like a huge, huge unlock. So that was going on post-college immediately. And the funny thing is when I started to see like my body, my energy, all of these things, my confidence too, self-trust start to fly, actually my corporate career started to fly, and it like took off.
Wow.
And I remember like other girls I would work with, like they didn't eat all day. I was at peak energy at 4 or 5 p.m. I could still be at the office till 6:30, 7 at night. And like, I was as if it was 9 in the morning. And like, I don't think that was a coincidence. I was energized, I was feeding myself, and I looked honestly better at that point at 22 than I did at 15. So that was going on. Then as I was growing and growing, I loved it, like I said, but as I was starting to reflect on, as I was getting more senior, what were my favorite parts of my days? And it was funny, because as I was getting closer to the institution and less from like the beauty piece, I realized like it was the people who worked for me. I loved coaching and developing them. So I was really fortunate. I managed a few different teams when I was with the group on different brands. And even I'd come home and I would say to my husband, Dylan, like, I loved spending time with X today. Like, that was the highlight of my day. It wasn't really anymore as much the product or the campaigns. It was really spending time with these people and watching them flourish. Fast forward, I knew I started to want this next chapter of my career. And if you take actually a big step out, I think what is normalized in different cities in the US, and if you're going into this college track, that you go into the corporate culture, whether it's beauty or whatever, finance, whatever it is, enter any corporate culture in there, and you start to go and you almost get this sense of that's what you need to do. And there becomes this whole feast of hustle culture, productivity. The first time in your life you're needed. You get validation from the outside. And then it's months go by. When was the last time you actually connected with X friend? Or months go by and you're so drained every single night. Or you need the weekend to completely recover just to feel like you need to go do it again. And I think that's been really normalized. Come your 30s, which is where I'm at now, then you feel okay, I'm almost stuck. And I've talked to a lot of my clients now about this. I want to make a pivot. I don't know how to. And for me, it was this intersection of, okay, I know I learned amazing skills and that would have never been possible without L'Oreal, which I was so grateful for. But then the flip side of it is what am I loving in my day-to-day? It's nurturing other people, and what's my own story. But how do you make the leap? And this is advice I'd give to anyone. When you step, the path appears. And that's genuinely what happened to me. It was I'm going to get certified in my degree. I am going to start doing it. I was doing it at night. I had a marketing job for a hair brand. How am I managing it all? I knew I wanted to get pregnant. That was in the back of my mind. There were so many factors, but I didn't know what would happen, but I just started stepping.
Wow. There's a lot to unpack here. I want to backtrack for a second back to corporate life because I think it's super relevant for a lot of women listening our age, especially I worked corporate for a couple of years right out of college too. And it is so hard. And I think more mentally than anything to maybe stay on track and stick with your goals when you're in that environment. For me, I remember when I was staying on track and doing all the things I needed to do, but then at least people in my office would judge me. And then you feel really uncomfortable. And then you're kind of okay, fine, I'll just drink and go to the happy hour and eat this shit and blah, blah, blah. Because I was the youngest person there. I had just started working there. And I didn't want people to think that I wasn't cool or that I just well, it's not fun. I was 22.
You want to fit in.
Yeah. And I think that's a huge thing. And then the other thing is, at least a lot of my best friends tell me, they're I don't know what to do. I'm eating all day in the office. I'm fucking bored. And it's just so annoying. So I think those two are huge for women our age that I want to cover.
So I work with my clients on this a lot. And starting with the first piece of judging, and I think it can go in the office sense, but it also could be social or dating or whatnot. How I like to explain this to people is if you take a step back, you wouldn't cheat on your boyfriend. Most people wouldn't. You wouldn't sabotage. You wouldn't sabotage a friend. But people are very quick to cheat on themselves and not hold themselves. So that motivation actually comes in the action. And the first time is the hardest to say no. No, I'm not going to do this. Or you know what, I'm going to have an iced tea at this work happy hour. And that's where you have to flex into one, your personality without all these distractions. And two, honoring yourself is also how you keep self-identity in a corporate culture. And I'm not saying it's always easy. That's definitely something, especially as I think back to my more junior days, I really did also deal with and struggle with. But then I realized if I'm honoring myself, I'm going to start having more courage in my meetings. I'm going to actually start then feeling I can trust the decisions I'm making. And then you get respect from the people above you and your counterparts and also below you. When I would talk, I'd be I know X, but I was also quick to say I don't know X. And I think in tying it back to the point you brought up, it starts also in social settings in the office is having the courage to say, you know what, you're ordering pizza, can I have a salad? Or you know what, I'm not going to drink because I want to go to my workout. That doesn't mean I'm not going to the happy hour, but the two don't have to be simultaneous. They can almost coexist.
What about the snacking during the day at the office?
Okay, so I work with tons of women on this. Oftentimes people are snacking. It's two reasons. One, they're genuinely not eating enough. It was one piece where we really get to that. And it's funny because sometimes people will start working with me and they're holy shit, Sam, this is so much food. And then like the weight flies off of them. Like literally within 5 days, they lost 4 pounds. And I'm not kidding. This just happened this week.
That's insane.
It's literally insane. They're like, I'm eating so much more. So like if you're not eating enough is one piece, and we can talk about that more in a sec.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a huge thing. And that leads to snacking. Then the second piece is the emotional and bored piece. And like that's a lot of the mindset work I work with my clients on. So like we can talk about it like at your home, or and I know the question was about a corporate culture. There's so much to do. And like even when you're more junior, instead of being bored, honestly, like advice I would tell some of the people that reported to me is like, go pop over to someone's desk and get curious and like use different things like that. Those are tools. It's also how I was able to grow really quick in my career, was like, honestly, instead of sitting at my desk and snacking, which I did see, to be blunt, some of my counterparts doing, I'd pop over. Maybe people thought it was annoying. I don't know. Who cares? Yeah. But like I used moments like that to go learn and dive myself in to other things. And like that's a great trade-off from the eating, and also a win to your career, by the way.
Yeah. No, what I was going to say is that it's so interesting because sometimes we think it's all physical, but like you said, it's just so connected to the mental too. And then it's like it seeps into like your work life, and then you feel more confident at work. You are excelling your career, and then you feel good when you're dating, and then you feel good when you're going out. It's just like it all kind of is intertwined. And I think that not that it starts with our bodies, but it starts with us. And if we feel good in our bodies, then we feel good mentally, and it's just all connected.
Totally.
So it's so crazy because you are going to end up doing a lot of mental work with your clients as well.
Totally.
Let's dive in a little bit into the actual food and stuff. Do you ever feel judged for bouncing back too fast after your postpartum
Yeah.
journey?
So just giving a little context, I just had a baby 7.5 months ago. I gained 48 pounds during pregnancy, and I've lost at this point like almost or all of it at this point back. So I think that's what Gio's getting at.
Yes.
No, I think people want to know how I did it. So first off, one, let's work together. But two,
exactly.
I coached myself like those same.
That must be so hard though. Like
I
you
treated
didn't have
myself.
anyone else like to hold you accountable, like.
Totally. I treated myself as a client. So like the same way I'd have weekly sessions with my clients, like honestly, I tuned in, I checked in with myself. I made plans for myself and I followed it. I regrouped. I kept my body moving, but I think it's an interesting piece because even some of the girls who I work with who are postpartum, they like want to go right back to the gym. And I have a lot to say on that. One, your results really start in the kitchen. That's number one. So like even the first 3-4 months, and I lost a good chunk of change, my first 3-4 months postpartum, I actually wasn't working out at all yet. And like that's to show how powerful the kitchen is. You can't outwork in general what you're eating, that piece. And then also like even in a moment postpartum, like you need to honor like what's changing and not just running back. So I think the word bounce back is an interesting one because from a gym and working out perspective, no. Like I'm still like not where I was, and that's the truth of like planks and my core and all these pieces. But from a weight and feeling amazing in my body, I'm even feeling better than I felt, which is amazing. And like now I get to help other women do that too. And that came through the food and coaching myself and a plan, sticking to it. And even some of like the bigger pieces of like what we were just saying of like my mindset. When I'm committing to myself, like I'm going to withhold, like I'm honoring what I said to myself. And bigger than that, like that's how you build trust. A lot of people on the internet talk about intuitive eating. I have my own thoughts on intuitive eating.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
It's one of our questions. We need to know what you think about intuitive eating.
I think there's a lot of noise around it, and the problem is people don't know how to be intuitive. And that's what I work with my clients on. It's easy to say, listen to your body, but like if your body wants 5 bags of chips, like you probably shouldn't be doing that, you know? Right. If like your goal is X. So what I work with my clients on is like getting back to being able to listen to your body and what works and what doesn't work. And like that is what I think is missing. And I think also on the flip side of it, there's nothing wrong with being structured. Like if you have goals, like, and you want to be structured, like that's okay. And like that needs to be normalized too.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you are a very structured, disciplined person, so you can coach yourself. And for the people who can't, depending on your personality, then they can work with someone like you to hold them accountable.
So I want to touch on that.
Yeah.
And like I think I said in the beginning, how I even got here is I hired someone.
Right.
And
You
like I'm
started
talking
that.
about, and like that's how powerful it is, I think, to invest in somebody. I hired someone, we're going back 10 years, but like now I'm able to do it alone. So like when I think about my clients, like my goal for my clients is for them to actually graduate. So like
Right.
even now, like on the way in, actually, I got a text from an old client. We're not working together anymore. We have an amazing relationship. She texted me an update, but like I'm thrilled to get those updates, even though we're not working together. I'm like, yes, girl, like you're friggin' flying. Like keep going, girlfriend. Like that's where the goal is. So like, and the person who I hired going back 10 years ago, like that's where how amazing I can still like bring back to these tools that work and work and work. And it's not all this noise and shit you're seeing on TikTok and like what works for X and not you. And it's like beyond that, like we all have different hormones. And like I think some of that's getting noise right now, like hormones, and like we're all bio-individual. We all have different relationships with food. And we all have different upbringings where we learned things along the way or didn't learn things along the way. We all have different cultures, like from our parents and families and religions. And like all of that are sneaky, quiet whisper ways that like inform what you think about food.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. And I think like that's something that like if you work and put the work in to understand it, understand where you are, like that's also coming back to the intuitive piece, like how you can become more intuitive.
Mm-hmm. So coming from like your background where you said like you struggled with like you wouldn't feed yourself and all that stuff, and a lot of it was shifting your mindset 10 years ago, like what were the biggest things that you really changed your mind on or had to unlearn? And what do you see most of your clients struggle with mentally to really make this shift?
Totally. So for me, like starving was starving myself skinny and feeling like I had to eat less than everyone else and like being so obsessive in my head. It was more in my head than honestly anything else. But like that was actually took up so much time. And
But I think that it is a lot of in our heads.
Yeah.
Like I see a lot of people that I've known who were in the same position, and it's all mental. They look great. Maybe they're not healthy because they're not feeding themselves, but it's just like it really is a lot in your head.
Mm-hmm. Totally. So like learning how to eat and what to eat to get the results I want and spending time was a game changer. And then unlearning things that I thought were true, could maybe be true from a fact base, but like aren't true in practice. Being able to truly understand what my body needed to get to where I wanted to be was like such an unlock. And then building a realistic plan that worked for my life that I could come back to. So like back to the pregnancy piece, like yes, I coached myself, but like I actually would recommend most people hiring someone, and like a friendly reminder, I did. It's just like that's how much I'm powerful and how much I believe in it. And I'm still going back to things that now I teach all my clients that I learned 10 years ago. Now I'm just want people to do it faster.
Yeah. I have so many questions. I mean, what about while you were pregnant? Like, did you ever feel uncomfortable in your body at that point? Like, how was navigating that whole process for the first time? You're a first time mom.
Just to add on to that, I feel like we have women who are like getting to the pregnancy or like postpartum or are in that vibe, and then also like people who are not there yet. But I'm also very curious about like the pregnancy part.
Totally. Okay, so I was petrified to get pregnant, and I think most people most people wouldn't say that honestly. And like obviously I was so grateful, all the things, but like I said, like I struggled for a while, like in my young adulthood. Then I put all this work into like really have a body I loved, really work on my mindset. And now I know the doctor's telling me I'm about to gain 40 pounds, like at least, you know, and I gained more than that, by the way. I gained 48 pounds. So
But how much is the baby?
Yeah, the baby. The baby counts
also
for it.
weighs.
Yeah, the baby. Yeah, Remy was 6 pounds 5 ounces.
Yeah. No, just how do you deal like getting pregnant and with your body transforming in those early months, and then of course postpartum? Like, how do you work on your mindset and then physically on your body? Like, what did you do?
Yeah, so totally. So it was scary for sure, and I don't think people talk about that. And like I think that needs to be normalized. And now it's funny because like as I've started saying and talking about it, I have all these people reaching out to me in my DMs, texting me, like setting up consultations, and like that's becoming now. So I know I'm not alone in how feeling that way for sure. So one was understanding it was going to happen, and then two, I stuck to somewhat of a framework when I was pregnant. That said, like I definitely, like I was obsessed with pancakes. I was eating pancakes. Do I eat pancakes on an everyday right now? No. Will I eat them? Yes. But like I definitely had a looser framework for sure. And I also at that point, there comes a point where I was just like, I need to feed myself for the baby to be healthy. and I'll worry about my weight later. And for me, what also helped was when the bumps started coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the beginning is like the worst
It
part.
really is, because like a lot of people don't know you're pregnant. You're
Yeah.
also not feeling great. You have like these weird cravings, or you have no appetite at all. But like when the bumps started coming, it was a game changer for me. Then you get closer to the end of the pregnancy and you're like, holy shit, now I need to lose this. That's where I want to say, like, working with someone, having a strong plan, and like getting clear is a game changer.
Would you work out during your pregnancy, or what movements were you doing?
Yeah, I definitely stayed working out. It wasn't as intense.
Do you recommend like continue doing movement?
For sure. Like, it made me mentally feel good. It felt great. I had a great birth story. So I definitely recommend the working out piece to when you can. Towards the end of my pregnancy, I was like, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's a few months in your life. It was
Yeah.
like the afterwards, just funny. I was like petrified to get pregnant. Then my body was changing. Then I embraced it. And then the after, I felt so daunted. Like, oh my God, now I need to lose this weight. And I did. And like, that's back to circle and say, like, one, you can. Two, like, the woman's body's incredible. Mm-hmm. Like, it's really something to remember. Like, honestly, women are freaking awesome. And like, now that I go through this, every woman I know, I'm like, oh my God, like, you are like the
incredible.
incredible. Like, like this salt of the earth, honestly.
Yeah.
And I am saying that because it's like, it's a daunting experience, but like coming on the other side of it, like, I'm even more in disbelief by my body.
Yeah.
So becoming a mom has obviously like influenced the way you view like body image and self-relationship. I want to talk about that because I've literally, being so vulnerable, like I've talked this with my best friends, like I feel like when I'm a mom, especially if I have a daughter, it's like I do not want them to see like any unhealthy habits coming from me. So I just think like, okay, like I need to be like so ready before having this like beautiful baby girl, because I don't want her to like look at me and then like, if I have a distorted relationship with food or like doing any toxic habits, like I don't want her looking at that and then mimicking me.
Totally. So I think there's two different types of unhealthy habits. Like, one, food, but it can go on both sides. It's not just unhealthy food. Like, I did not grow up in an almond household at all.
No, me either.
At all. Like, I'm telling you, really at all. And I'm saying, and like, it's not like I have these crazy genetics. I don't. But like, I work hard and in a sustainable way. And I'm saying that for people because, like, one, even beyond the mom and the motherhood, like, just so you know, like, you can have a body you want. So like, that's one piece I want people to like feel empowered by that, because you can. Then the second piece, back to motherhood, like, being unhealthy is not healthy, but being like also crazy healthy and like almondy and you can't eat this and do this, that creates an unhealthy child too. And that's something definitely I've thought about on like how I want to raise Remy and how I want to show up. And then there's also the piece of being unhealthy of like, how do you talk to yourself? How do you comment on their looks?
Yeah.
How do you do all of that? And like, I think also in a society like where there's like so much noise everywhere, like that's also what needs to be paid attention to. So it's definitely things I'm giving thought to as well.
Mm-hmm. So what exactly did you do to quote unquote bounce back or to lose the weight after your pregnancy? Are there certain things that you swear by, certain foods, certain meals, movements?
I believe in a blood sugar balancing approach.
Okay.
So like what that means, and like that's the premise for like if you were to work with me, what I do.
Okay.
Each person, though, it's customized to giving their goals, their day-to-day, their
Right.
lifestyle, their social, like all the pieces to the pie. But I believe in blood sugar balancing. So what that is, it's a complex carb, fat, protein, fiber at every single meal.
Give
So
an example of like a amazing meal that includes all that.
Okay, so like an amazing meal for breakfast, which is also
The most important meal of the day.
Yes, it is, and I'll swear on that. Like
She doesn't believe it.
No, it is.
No. It's what I break my fast with, my lunch.
No, you gotta change it. I promise you. So basically, you take like a great brand is Maria and Ricardo.
I always see you post this, and I'm like, who the hell is Maria
they're
and
the best.
Ricardo?
Literally the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so like amazing, like filled with fiber, super healthy, amazing ingredients, all of
But what
things.
is that?
Wraps. So
Okay,
Maria and
okay.
Ricardo is a great brand. So 2 wraps is amazing. A 4 egg white omelet, tons of non-starchy veggies, and then you can add like a little cream cheese or a little avocado or something like that. That would be an amazing breakfast. You're gonna be full. You're getting all your nutrients in it, and your blood sugar will be balanced all day. So you need to keep eating.
We're going to get meticulous here. Do you eat like as soon as you wake up, 30 minutes before you work out? Like, are you working out in the morning, afternoon?
Are you having coffee?
For me, like, let's say I work out at 8 a.m. I lift on the day where I'm from lifting heavy weights, like I can't go into that fasted, but I also don't know if I could eat that whole breakfast before.
So for you, no. So the breakfast I would typically eat after I work out. But for you, on a day that you're lifting heavy, I'd recommend having a piece of fruit. So like the sugar is also going to help you. One, you're going to burn it off, but two, like the sugar is going to help you with to get a better workout in, like the natural sugar in the fruit. So like I work out in the mornings too. Like I'll have a handful of berries, or I'll have a small apple, or I'll have a small pear or something before I go and work out.
That's what I'm trying to incorporate before my workout. So I have something in my system before.
Yeah. You should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if not, I would go into empty.
From a working out perspective, a lot of people do work out fasted, fine. But like you also, if you're going to the gym, and let's talk about the gym. If you're going to the gym, you want it to be effective.
Absolutely.
Right. So like to go and then not have energy and all that, that's like where I do recommend to my clients, like you should be eating a little bit before you work out. So like it is effective. Then I also think there's the other side that's also not realistic, which will bring me back to the kitchen, is that like people are all, you see on TikTok or Instagram, all people do all day is they go to Pilates and they go here and they go to matcha and like that's their day. Honestly, most people can't do that. And like my point in saying that is like if you focus on the kitchen, you actually have to focus between the two. You'll get the results if you focus on your food even more than the working out.
What about caffeine? Like coffee, do you have that on an empty stomach? Do you recommend not to?
A lot of people do. And that said though, like yes, it spikes your cortisol. Like that's fact. Like you're gonna, even from a blood sugar perspective, like there's a lot of downside to it. That said, what I tell my clients is like you have your coffee with your food, because I think it's more realistic than eat and have your coffee, which is like a lot of the advice you'll see is like don't have it on an empty stomach or whatnot. But like when you work with me, you'll see like everything's just about being realistic and big impact changes. So like I'll give you an example. People will ask me like at our first session, is this almond milk brand okay? Like girl, when we're overhauling your whole diet, like it doesn't matter what almond milk brand you're going to have. And I think we need to be honest about that. You know, like little changes, they can have a big impact. But if you want like a big transformation, then like, let's do it, girlfriend, you know?
Yeah. Also, because if not, it's like so overwhelming. Like you're looking at the brands and you're looking at this, and it's just like, well, I'm already trying to like get to the gym more and eat healthier. Like then it just almost seems like too drastic and go step by step. So speaking of working with you, tell us a little bit about your 12-week program. Yeah, which you've recently transformation program. Exactly. Tell us a little bit about that and why 12 weeks. We were curious.
Yeah. So I launched a 12-week transformation program, and what we do is like we start off with, we get super granular about you, and that's actually even before the first session. So that's once you tell me you sign up, fill out like a really comprehensive form, and then at our first session, I come back to you with a meal framework. And then from there, at subsequent sessions is we work on meal plans. We do mindset work. I give you tons and tons of recipes. You have full access to me in between our sessions. So like there's the entire 12 weeks, I'm in your back pocket holding you accountable, but it's also so much more than that. Like we're breaking habits. We're building new habits. Every single thing in real time in between sessions we can work through. And like I mentioned, like some of the mindset work too. So it's quite comprehensive. Why 12 weeks? So my clients get results immediately. And like I truly have worked with tons of people at this point, and I really don't have one person that hasn't seen results in the first 2 weeks.
That's incredible.
It's amazing. And it's something I'm super, super proud of. However, why did I make a 12-week program? The results start coming. You're going to feel less anxious right away. You're going to feel more energized, like within immediately, honestly. But like what I want, and I mentioned this a little before, was I want my clients to graduate. And like that's something that's so important. I take pride in that. Like I want you to be able to fly on your own. I want you to be able to go and like come back to something you learned with me in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years. So that's where the 12 weeks does come in. Like we get to your goal, and then there's the maintenance mode piece, because that's where I want you to be.
Yeah. Do you think that people come to you like, you're saying they all see results like so quickly, which is amazing, but I feel like there's also a part of like everyone kind of needs to be disciplined and actually like cook the recipes that you're sending them and actually like start making changes. Like, do you see a common theme between everyone? Like everyone's just like really ready to make that transformation, or like how are they seeing it? I feel like sometimes even people are like they want to lose weight and like they feel like they're doing all the things and they're going to the gym and like they're eating relatively healthy, but like it's not working.
Totally. So a few things. Yes and no. So 2 things. One, you don't need to cook to lose weight. So that's something I work with my clients. I personally like to cook. A lot of my clients like to cook, but I did work with someone who I adore. She was in investment banking in New York, crazy schedule. She lost 40 pounds without cooking and completely naturally. So that's one thing I do work also with my clients on, is like how to take out, how to to travel, all the
Yeah.
things. So that was one thing I want to say. But your question was,
Are people coming to you like at the
are they
point where
ready?
like they're ready to make this change? Because I feel like people are work out and they eat healthy and they're not seeing results.
So-
but in 12 weeks, you're saying everyone's seeing results.
yeah. So yes and no. So for my clients, like there's people who come and like they're ready because they're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Like they're exhausted and they like want to feel confident. They want to feel good, but they're like coming from like a timid place. And that's where we also work on some of this idea of building your self-trust, honoring what you say to yourself, like a lot of the mindset work, but they are ready for their body to change. Then I also have clients, I'm starting with someone actually new this afternoon, and she's more in this space where she's like, I do all the right things. I just want to lose 5 pounds. And like, I just can't anymore. One, what I said, and like we're working together, is and I think this is true for a lot of people. Like, if you were doing all the right things, it would be working. So, like, you're not where you want.
You think you're doing the
you
right
think
things.
you're doing the right things, and that's where you should hire an expert. And like, I think a lot of people are quick to hire experts for literally everything. Like, we have people that clean our houses. We have people that do our taxes. We go to restaurants for amazing chefs. Like, like the list is endless. Yeah, it is endless. However, when it comes to food and your relationship with food, people are very quick to think they can do it on their own, which is so ironic to me, because if you think about it, like, and I'm so happy this part's normalized, like healing your relationship with parents, healing your relationship with your boyfriend, like whatever it is, your friends. The funny thing though is like you could actually step away from all of it. The one thing you really can't step away from is yourself, and also food. Food, you need it to survive, and food is everywhere. Like, I'm even looking at the counter there. There's a thing of bananas. Like, so I don't have food noise anymore in my life, but times when I did, I'd be thinking about banana, even when I was talking to you. And I think a lot of people are in that space.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. So, like, that's where the piece is like, if it was working, you would have the results. Two, like, a lot of people, then there's the in between where people are fucking ready and they're ready to go and like, let's do it. So it's a little bit all over the spectrum. I offer different packages for people who aren't ready for the 12-week program, that too. But for like the 12 weeks is for the girl who is friggin' ready for like a complete transformation. But I do also offer lower touch, which I can get into.
Do you think calorie counting canceled?
I don't believe in it. Yeah, I don't believe in calorie counting. I think it's a quick, slippery slope. And if you learn serving sizes and you learn how to do that right, the food works in your favor and you can have more fun.
Yeah, I think for me, like during my food journey, like my problem is just like I would just overeat so much. Like I'd be eating good, I was just eating so much.
Totally.
And now I've like balanced it out and I know what a decent serving size is. What are some small underrated habits that lead to big results?
Breakfast is huge. A structured snack.
What's a structured snack?
People snack all day. But like if you sit down and have a snack and like know you're going to eat, it's a game changer.
Let's go back to this. When you're making these personalized plans, like how do you account for their hormones and their stress? Like, do they need to go to Function Health and see what's wrong with them and then come to you, or like?
So I've worked with people in that space. I've also worked with not. Like, they think it depends. I think that's amazing work that's being done there. But like at the end of the day, some of this is back to basics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like that's where I think it's getting also a little out of control with like all these TikToks and all these things. Like some of this is like back to basics, and like even let's look at your food, and like actually like then even the blood work follows.
I think, I don't know if this was the case for you, but for me, like when I was younger, or when I was like 19, or maybe honestly all through college, like that is the hardest person for me comparison wise, because like I'm comparing me right now to that girl when I was like younger. And it's like not even other people. It's just like, oh my God, like how did I used to look like that? Like, do you work with clients like that ever?
That's a common thing. Like even in consultations I'll have with people, they're like, I was looking at a picture of me from high school. I was looking at me in college, all these things. So there's a few things I want to say with that.
And sorry, can I add really quick? By the way, it's like, I'm so much healthier now than I was then. Like I was binge drinking. I was eating Domino's after. Like I'm doing the same exact workouts, and I'm probably eating healthier now and drinking like 80% less. And I'm still like, I don't understand.
So first thing I want to say is like, you can be the hottest version of yourself today. And like, I believe in that. And like, I fully believe in that. A lot of times for people, what happens is like, they were not eating the right things then, but like that was being younger, and their metabolism, food would like fall off of them. But they actually are carrying those habits. Maybe it's not alcohol, but like especially like girls in college, like not eating enough, but then like having a few Sour Patches, I'm making this up, like here and there, and like different things in that spirit. But like when you learn to eat more and eat correctly, like it flies, and like people can have their hottest bodies. Like I'm working with someone right now. She's like in her late 30s, and like I swear to God, she's hotter today than she was at 22.
What's your take on Ozempic culture and obsession with shortcuts?
Totally. So I actually do work with a few people who were on Ozempic or actually are trying to come off of Ozempic. So one, it works. That's the piece.
It works because you're not eating though.
It does other stuff to your
Okay.
blood sugar and stuff like that, which you can do through food, by the way. And like actually my approach is a blood sugar balancing approach. That said though, there's two pieces with it. Like one, there's nothing like doing it yourself. And that's where when I say where you want things to actually like trickle into other parts of your life and into your world and like just elevate and become your higher self in general, like you need to do the work. And like I do believe in that. And that's where I see so much of the transformation with people. It was like, holy shit, like I'm committing to myself. I'm doing this. That was my work. And like there's a lot that goes into that like you'll carry that confidence wherever you go.
Yeah.
So like go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's such interesting take that I totally agree with, and I don't think anyone's really mentioned. But absolutely, when you earn something, you just feel so much better about it in anything.
Totally.
And when you're like, wow, I got to like this weight, or I look so good, and I feel so good, and I did it. It brings this whole other level.
It's
of
also
confidence,
like
you said.
And we've talked about this before. Like, then at what point do you stop taking Ozempic?
So that's actually was going to be my second point. So I mentioned, I'm working with a few people actually trying to come off of GLPs right now, and also working with a few people right now who were on it, but they came to me, they're like, I'm skinny. I don't look like I'm glowing. Like my hair.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. Like girls come to me and they're like, I want to glow. Like I want to be radiant. I want to be magnetic. I want people to be like, oh my God. Like
I'm getting goosebumps.
and
I'm like, I want to be radiant.
Me too. And like, that's a big thing. So like I'm two people who I adore, I'm thinking of them in mind. And like, they came to me, they were like, I actually lost a lot of weight on it. My hair's thin. My face looks sunken in. Actually, like I don't even like I look good because like I'm thin and I haven't been like this size jean ever in my life. Yeah. But like I know I don't look like I'm glowing. I also have no friggin' energy. And also in the next few years, maybe I want to get pregnant. What the hell? I'm also starting to think about that. And I'm petrified. Like a lot of that. And also like a glow is everything. And you to glow, you need to eat. And like to be honest, people are saying to me, they're like, Sam, like, oh my God, you like look like you're glowing and like radiant and all these things like in my post-pregnancy era. And I'm like, I'm fueling myself.
Yeah.
And like that also comes from the nutrients of food.
Absolutely.
So like it's skinny at what cost? And also food's meant to be enjoyed. And when I was in college, Jose Andres, he's a famous chef now. So I actually worked for him when I was in college, and I loved that experience. But he says stuff, and he says it like a lot of places, thought it everywhere. But I'm going to take it from him is that he always said like, food is meant to be enjoyed and eaten, and like also at what cost? Like that is a component of life. Like beyond being healthy and fueling you, like who are we kidding? Food is connection. Food is memories.
Yes.
Food's a lot of things. It's culture. It's experience. And like, you need to learn to integrate that. So like, that's my take. Like, do what works for you. But like, there's a lot more than just being skinny. It's glowing. It's feeling good. It's for women, having a healthy menstrual cycle. It's having gorgeous, luscious hair. It's having beautiful nails. Like, there's a lot in here. And there's also having that piece of like learning to trust yourself and like what works for you.
I think also like how you mentioned people like on Ozempic and then thinking of getting pregnant. It's like part of it also mentally is like, well, when I get pregnant, if I gain weight, like I know that I can lose it because I have good habits and I know that I eat well and I go to the gym and whatever. But like if you know like actually I'm skinny just because I did Ozempic, then maybe you do feel a little bit more nervous getting pregnant because you're like, how am I going to do this?
Totally.
You
know,
get off Ozempic to get pregnant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then it's like you can't be on it, and then it's like that crutch that you were relying on is like gone, and it's like, well, I can't do this on my own, although you can, but like mentally you probably think like I can't do it on my own because I didn't do it before.
Totally. And some people like that I'm working with and that are trying to come off of it, they have said to me, they're like, I lost this weight, but like I want to get off of it because like my relationship with food mentally is still not better. And like that doesn't change.
Right.
Like you still have thinking like I work not anymore, but like she was thinking like a lox and bagels was like a cheat meal. That's not a cheat meal, you know, like within the right serving and enjoying it. And also, by the way, having a great brunch with your family or your friend, like that's not a cheat meal, you know? And like there's a lot of work to be done with that like Ozempic won't fix or a GLP-1 won't fix.
Absolutely.
This combo is just like, I feel like healing my heart, like as a little girl. I feel like so many nutritionists online too, like they talk about willpower, right? And I know you say this isn't about willpower, this is about getting to know your body, but I still see people saying online like, well, the best version of you wouldn't eat a bagel and lox. And it's like, that still sounds really toxic to me.
No, so I don't think it's about willpower. I think about strategy. And I was just actually talking to a client about this where we're working on it. But like she told me she went out to dinner with friends. By the way, I actually have a lot of clients that are in this boat. And then like when we're about to like stop working together or whatever, like the progress seeing that they don't feel this way anymore is so beautiful to watch. But she was like sharing super vulnerably. Like she was out for dinner with friends and she noticed like she had a full piece of something and her friend only had half. And one, you have no idea what people eat all day.
Yeah.
Two, like we have a whole strategy. And what I said to this person was, I was like, you had an omelet. You had this big salad for lunch with a sweet potato. You had like all these things. I'm like, we were good. And the next day we have a plan too. So like I'm a believer in strategy, not willpower, because at the end of the day, you can eat whatever you want. And like I also believe in crowding out. So like, and that's this whole premise of like adding more to your plate. So naturally other foods are crowded out. But like there's a place for everything.
Absolutely. I agree. How do you help clients break free from like obsessive thinking and food guilt, which kind of goes along with what you just said?
So strategy for sure. I think plan and learning how to eat properly helps with that. Like when you start feeling like you have a plan, and it's not a crazy plan of, I don't believe in weighing food, just to make this clear. I do not believe in weighing food. I do not believe in counting calories. I do not believe in macros. I believe in getting familiar with serving sizes. That doesn't mean you need measuring cups. Like I actually teach my clients how to ballpark it, eyeball it, whatever. The common foods on menus. Like we go over the whole shib and shabam.
How do you get them out of like food guilt and obsessive thinking?
It starts in the first few weeks. Like I see besides people lose weight in the first few weeks. And some people, by the way, I don't work with all people who want to lose weight. Some people are trying just to build healthier habits to honor that part of the business too. But like people, the first few weeks, most people do want to lose weight. But the first few weeks, the weight comes off, but like I also give them the freedom feeling of like, okay, they have a strategy and a plan in place, and like that also starts to help. Like when people feel like, oh, there's chaos, or like I just am like winging it, like a lot of obsession comes in and like sneaks in through the window that way.
Absolutely. What are some like wellness rules or trends that you've seen on TikTok? I know you've mentioned that you think are extremely toxic.
One, like the supplement game is ridiculous at this point. Like first off, like, by the way, I take some supplements, so like I'm not knocking supplements altogether, but like when you see people having like a ridiculous amount, but then like they're not eating not even not eating well, because I think actually a lot of people like eat healthy. It's more like it's not the right composition, or it's not enough, or it's too much, like whatever it is. Like the supplements are going to do shit. So like that's a big thing. Another thing is like what works for you will work for me. I'm not a big believer in what do I eat in a day type of videos. Yeah. And that's back to like bio individuality of like, there's so many factors at play that like I really don't believe in it. And also I think it's creating false pretenses, and who knows if these people are even eating all that food, you know, like there's a whole thing, or like they have one bite, like, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot in there that I think it's like a fake.
We need to take it with a grain of salt and like get recipe ideas, but not be like, I need to eat exactly this to look like this girl.
What about like, I honestly have been asking everyone this question because I think it's like the biggest topic right now is protein, obviously, because so many people say you need to be eating 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. And that is sometimes just like, first of all, honestly, I have no fucking idea how many grams of protein are in like a cup of ground beef. Like, I don't know. So I feel like sometimes I'm like, did I get enough protein in today? I have no idea. Like, what do you think about this whole protein obsession?
Okay, so protein's great. It just keeps you satisfied, your metabolism, muscle, all the things. However, I think fiber is so underrated, and like I'm a die on the sword for that. Like fiber is what keeps you glowing and keeps you going to the bathroom. It keeps you thin. You can eat more of it for like volume eating, which keeps you fuller for longer. So I think it's a balance. And I think protein's like getting a lot of good marketing right now, honestly.
Like when Lauren Bostic's like, I just eat a bowl of meat for lunch. And I'm like, are you full after that? I feel like I could eat a humongous bowl of meat and still not feel satisfied.
To be honest, it doesn't even fill me up that much because an hour later I'm fucking hungry.
So it's definitely, and that's back to like what I was saying, my approach is like a blood sugar balancing approach of like, it depends on the whole composition. And then one piece you said you don't know about like serving size and stuff. So with my clients, I do teach them all of that.
To me, that falls under like calorie counting, like just counting.
It's just another diet in my head. Like really a bowl of meat. Like that's it.
Well, it's not what your body fully needs.
Yeah.
Do you think that our obsession with like weight loss is just more of us trying to control things in our life?
Yes and no, because it's like, look, when you feel better, like a lot of other things come into place. And like, sorry to be the one that said sorry, but not sorry to be the one that says that. But like, when you feel good, you're nicer. When you feel confident, like you're out there, you're doing stuff. You're doing stuff for your community. You're nicer to your partner. Like there's a lot there. And like, I also am trying to normalize that it's okay to want to feel good and look good. Like, I think there's almost on the internet, back to the question you asked before, so much now of like feeling good, which trust me, like is beyond important. I work with all of that with my clients. But for the girls that come to me and be like, I just want to look hot. Yeah, girl, I get it. So do I.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Same.
Ultimately, like you stopped chasing skinny. You started like trusting yourself. What does real like lasting confidence feel like for you? And how do you help your clients build this too?
So one, eating what's right for me. But beyond that, like not comparing to other people. And I think that's a big thing, like what other people are eating, what other people are doing. And like as you get more and more in tune and a better handle of your own, you actually like stop looking at everyone else. And like that's a lot of like what's healthy, what feels good, like to me what that looks like.
What is one lesson you wish more women knew about weight loss and self-worth?
You don't need to starve yourself skinny. You're actually missing out on so much.
What about people who are going the opposite end and are overeating?
You also don't need to be there either. Like that's also like a lot of binging. And I think I appreciate you bringing light to that. I work with a lot of people too who do not like binge disorders, but like definitely overeat or feel like they can't stop or volume or anything in that spirit, or feel like they can't keep cookies in the house or like anything, they can't control themselves, things like that. And like you don't have to be there either. That's not a fun place to be either. And it's also like learning and like relearning like how to eat there as well.
Yeah.
And before our rapid fire segment, I know you talk a lot about like you can go on vacation and like still stick to like a program. Like how do you implement like all these strategies to be so flexible? Like I know for the summer people leave for like 3 months.
So a lot of my clients travel. They're footing here, they're fleeting there, like all the things, and myself included. It's like learning tools that integrate into your life. So I actually tell my clients, when you're coming to me at a busy season of your life, that's when I know this will work. Like that will work. It will work. Like that's actually like an ideal place to start, which is kind of ironic because like people are like, I'm so busy, like I'll contact you after the summer, and then they're like, actually, you know what? Like I feel like shit. I'll do it now. I'm like, girl, you do it now. Like you're gonna be flying in January. You know, if you can do this when you're in the south of France, which you can. By the way, like you're going to be crushing it when you're home, you know, back in New York or Miami in the January going to work.
No, I agree. I think that like as long as you keep your habits consistent, like still move your body, like when you're on a trip, maybe you're not going to be working out the same way, but like if you're going for a walk and you're doing something for 30 minutes and you're still like eating, maybe not dessert at every single meal, that way you can still have fun and enjoy, but also like just maintain your habits throughout. Like don't just throw them out the fucking window just because you're on a trip.
Totally.
You know, and that way you still keep feeling good about yourself. But perfect. We have a rapid fire round for you, which is always fun. Well, it kind of asks you this, but what's your go-to nourishing breakfast?
Okay, I did what I said before was like something I personally love, like 2 wraps, 4 egg white omelet, non-starchy veggies, and some type of healthy fat.
Favorite form of movement post-baby?
So I am a Pilates girl, love it, but I've been like getting more into strength training again, and I feel like my body's getting stronger, which has been super exciting because I did mention like from a strength perspective, like not fully there yet, which is fine, but like definitely working on it.
One wellness trend you can't stand?
Intermittent fasting.
Oh, okay.
Maybe actually, let's go deeper for a second. I don't have PCOS personally. She does. And I know it's like a thing for PCOS people to do this. You still don't think that?
I mean, I don't like, that's just something that I did. And I don't really do it like that crazy. I just don't eat breakfast.
I'm a believer in eating fuels your metabolism and you don't store fat. Like, and I'm at this point I worked with tons and tons of people and like it's like proven.
Yeah.
So I will die on the sword for that one.
Love.
Yeah. No, I grew up seeing my mom always eat like just good healthy meals and always eat.
Yeah.
Most underrated self-care tool?
I think checking in with yourself. And I think that's back to like being able to hear your own inner voice and like taking a moment during the day to like recheck, like, is this what I want to do? And I think even through food, people please even through food a lot. And it's actually a common way that people do. So it's like another tool. It's like if you check in with yourself to like remember like what you actually want.
What's inspiring you outside of wellness right now?
A lot of awesome restaurants are popping up, which is tied back to this, but like enjoy. Like I feel like there's so many cool concepts and like H&H is opening bagels, which I'm so excited for in Miami. The first location's opening at Pinecrest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but 4 more are coming, and like bagels are taking off again. I feel like that's having a moment, and I'm super inspired.
I love bagels.
I love that.
One thing you used to swear by, but now cringe at.
Oh, GG crackers.
Oh my God, why was somebody just telling me about
I
these?
don't remember this.
This was not a thing for us. I don't know.
Oh.
It was like at certain schools, I feel like.
Yeah, or
somebody
like,
was just telling me about them.
Is there ever a place for cheat days, or is that diet culture in disguise?
diet culture in disguise.
What's more important, discipline or nervous system regulation?
Nervous system regulation with discipline.
Okay. A food you'll never give up no matter what the experts say.
Okay, chocolate for sure.
Okay. What does building a life that loves you back mean to you?
Feeling like I'm thriving. I think a lot of people like seem like they're thriving, but they don't feel it. And that's a lot of work I've done in the past 2 years, is like getting myself to a place and taking a few risks, making this move to Miami, leaving this corporate job to feel like I'm thriving rather than like the optics seeming like it.
Mm-hmm. What's one daily habit that's changed your life?
Eating breakfast.
I love it.
Oh my God.
So if somebody that's listening has failed with food 1 billion times, what would you say to them right now?
It can change, and call me.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, we have one final question. Gio, take it away.
So we always end our episodes with an actionable tool or tip, which we call a homework assignment that you, the guest, give to our listeners. So what's your homework assignment for our listeners this week? Something that they could implement
Eat breakfast every single day this week. It's an easy one, but it's a big game changer. So make sure it has your complex carb, your protein, your fat, and your fiber.
Amazing.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much. This is such an important topic for all women around for any age, any woman. So I love that we got to dive deep with you today. And
thank you
for
so
all
much
your
for
advice.
having me.
Where can people find you? Where can they contact you?
My Instagram is LevinWell, LevinWell, or you can email me, samlevinwell@gmail.com.
Amazing.
Love
Guys,
it.
call her if you need it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, you guys. Ciao, bye.
Ciao, bye.